Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be talking about bread. We are going to look at very adult versions of the grilled cheese sandwich that you've all made before. Well, hello everybody, and welcome again to my kitchen. Mayor Lehman, welcome to the
morning.
kitchen.
Nice to be in the kitchen. What a great kitchen.
Thank you. I hope you came hungry.
Always. Look at me.
Perfect.
Do you think I don't eat much?
You don't
I
show
eat
it.
lots.
You don't show it. We're going to have a lot of exciting components to put together today on some yummy bread. In the meantime, so you're not starving while we're working away here.
Oh, okay.
Have a little taste of this.
Thank you very much. What is this? Tell me about this.
This is a little bit of taramo. A taramo salata, I think it's called, the long word. It's a spread from fish eggs, bit of sour cream, and some salmon eggs with crackers.
Wow. So
Just the right
caviar
thing.
and crackers.
No fish today on the menu here, though. We are going to do what, like I said earlier, everybody has been done in their kitchens before. Grilled cheese sandwich. Like everything, we evolve a little with time. So we're going to call this the adult version of the grilled cheese sandwich. So we'll start with bread. We have a few to choose from. We're going to start with the white bread. Thank you, Fresh Affair, by the way, for the loaves. These are perfect. We're going to do a few varieties, some on white. I'm going to start piling this up here. Some on rye. And of course, you can choose any bread you like. What's your favorite bread?
Actually, I'm a rye guy.
Are you?
So I'm a big fan of having breakfast out at a diner or something like that. And always it's rye toast. Rye toast with peanut butter in the morning.
That sounds good to me. And then the healthy version, the multi-grain. And these, I'm going to cut a couple of slices a little thicker, and I'll tell you in a little bit why we're going to do that. The thicker you cut your bread, of course, the longer it's going to have to stay in the pan. So it's a bit of juggling act between getting the right heat going in the pan. What are we going to start with? White bread.
All right.
How about brie cheese? This is a nice vegetarian option. It's actually one of my favorite cheeses. Grilled or not, I just think it's beautiful.
Now, I've heard the secret to a good sandwich is actually the bread. Really fresh bread, really tasty bread.
Tasty bread, yeah. With the brie, I would say we're going to try some spinach and a little bit of grilled vegetables. I've put some zucchini and peppers, a little bit of onion, carrot in the oven ahead of time.
But look at this. This looks like the healthiest grilled cheese sandwich I've ever had. This is quite the take on a grilled cheese.
And I think you'll like the flavor of it. And here comes the butter. And then we're going to ask Ben to help us out and do some cooking for us. Look at this.
Okay, so there's butter.
Is that enough?
To be clear, there's butter.
But you know what? It just goes on one side for now, so it's not too bad. We don't know what the best way is. We've tried it both and we like it both. Put the butter on your bread or put the butter in your fry pan ahead of time and let it just medium heat. Careful with heat. You don't want to go high heat. Always low medium.
That's interesting because when I'm doing grilled cheese, I'm always worried about browning the butter. Butter gets brown, then you burn the sandwich, and my 6-year-old tells me I don't want it.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
Well, she's a smart one. No, start low. If it's too low, you can always go up. But once you are too hot, you can't fix it. Number 2, we're going to try. Here comes something for the blue cheese lovers. And in this case, I'm going to give it just a tiny bit of butter on the inside.
So blue cheese I'm starting to see on burgers a lot more. This gourmet burger revolution. We've got a lot of great places in Barrie doing gourmet burgers now. And you get that either a gorgonzola or a blue cheese or another sort of, call them maybe spicy or stinky cheeses.
Yes.
And but they really take over, don't they? They become the central taste.
They're main stage on your sandwich. So depending on how much in love you are with the blue cheese flavor, you want to go heavier or less on your sandwich. I found that pear and blue cheese make a beautiful couple. So we're going to try this on that sandwich. Maybe a little bit more pear. You can, instead of just using a fresh pear, you can poach it ahead of time if you want it to be a little softer. This stays crunchy inside the sandwich. So whatever your preference is. Look at that.
Look at that.
Creamy and beautiful.
Yes, and healthy amounts of cheese.
Oh, absolutely. It's a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
We're not going to be
Not much
overly
point
worried.
if you can't taste
Nope,
the cheese.
No. And that's really something we should be aware of. If you want to do grilled cheese sandwiches, let the cheese be it. Let the cheese be the star. Now, I'm cautious with blue cheese because I am not into the extremely strong cheeses. So I'm not in. I'm not really right for my time. So what I like to do is just add a little bit of sweetness to it, and I have just a tiny bit of maple syrup.
Oh, no kidding.
You can do honey instead, and we'll top it with, I'm fortunate, I grew some parsley, and I have some baby parsley to go on top.
Wow.
Just to make it healthy again.
Oh,
it offsets the butter, so you're all good, right?
That's right.
So, butter, not to forget. And number 2 goes in the pan. Number 3, multigrain with, and this is a very typical one. Do you want butter on the inside?
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
Can't have too much butter.
Love it. What I thought while we're working away here, wouldn't this be a nice food to even do with friends, and you just put out whatever components, and everybody makes their own grilled cheese sandwich, and you find somebody as kind as Ben who goes and cooks it all for you. But I think that's what I'm going to try. I've never done that, but I think that would be fun.
Well, so this is what I do with burgers. I have friends over in the summer, and I'm manning the grill and cooking the burgers, but we'll put out 12 different things, and obviously the typical things, the condiments and some cheese and lettuce and tomato, but maybe a few other things. Get some avocado out there.
Yes.
Then you can do a sort of California, a little bit of different cheeses, and also onions, and that's something lots of people love in their burgers. Saute some onions or something like that, and just top that. It's really nice too.
We just fell in love with caramelized just about anything.
Oh,
caramelized onions.
Fantastic.
Caramelized, even rutabaga.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Caramelized carrots. It is a little bit of work ahead, but you can have them ready, caramelized cold, and then set them out and heat them when you do your burger or whatever, and the flavors are amazing.
So what kind of cheese is that?
This one is a Swiss cheese, plain Swiss, nice and has a bit of a bite. This we're going to call our Italian version. We're going to have some prosciutto ham. And again, because this is very aromatic, we don't want to overdo it with the prosciutto because, again, cheese should be main stage, but we want that bit of smoky flavor. Every cheese melts differently, we all know that. There are some cheeses that don't melt, like a halloum cheese, for example. I quite like that on the barbecue. You can put big fat slices on the grill and they stay intact.
Right.
Feta doesn't melt.
When I'm making grilled cheese, and I'm not doing anything on this level, but when I'm cutting up some cheddar and doing it on bread with butter at home, when you start melting it, the oil really can separate. That can be a good thing because you end up frying the bread a little bit, and that's quite nice on top of the butter. But it can get a little gloopy and messy and that sort of thing. I guess that's where the quality of the cheese and the type of cheese is the key thing.
Don't forget, you want a little bit of salt and pepper, I believe, on your
Very
tomatoes.
important. Easy to forget.
It's a tiny
Very
thing,
good thing.
but I tell you, it makes all the difference,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Am I the right way around? Yes. So here comes number 3 with butter. Do you know how simple it is to make your own butter? Have you made butter?
That I have never done.
No?
So I have images of people spending hours in the churn, like a butter churn, pounding away and sort of not getting anywhere.
Once in a while do our own butter, and for days we slave away. No, it's not really like that.
Yeah.
I have a little butter churner, a glass one, And it takes about, I would say, 35 minutes of turning and turning and churning from fresh cream. Cream.
Okay. Now, can the average person do this in their home food processor?
Absolutely.
Just buy cream? You know, what are you looking for there? Is it full,
fresh,
sort of full cream?
35%
35% cream, okay.
Yes.
At the grocery store. And literally it's pour it in and mix it on the right speeds and no kidding.
Yeah, we get some beautiful fresh creams here from, say, Nickel Farms and places in the area.
So Esther, all this gear in your kitchen, I'm noticing different, you know, knives, spreaders. I imagine that when you cook for a living, the tools are so important. Have you kind of accumulated these over the years? When you found something you like, you keep it?
You bet.
That sort of thing?
You bet. It's been a long, long, long one. I don't really cook for a living, I have to say. I mean, maybe I live to cook. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry.
There we
I
go.
guess. Yeah.
No. I've always been
when you're
hooked
such a pro.
To food. I'm not a pro. No. Disclaimer: I am not a chef. I just like food. How are we doing there, Ben? Good. You're ready for the next? We're going to make one more vegetarian with Jarlsberg cheese. That's become one of my favorites lately.
Yeah.
And it melts so nice. It's just gorgeous. So we want lots of that because we're not adding too much other things to it. Just a few slices of a red pepper, or yellow or green, whatever your heart desires. And some slices of mushroom. I'm so tempted to overdo it and add more and more and more because I'm used to building these sandwiches that look pretty, but then Ben is going to be very unhappy with me because they're so hard to melt and not burn. So we'll bring this in the fry pan. And last but not least, we saved those thick pieces for last. Slice your bread a little thicker, like I mentioned. Cut out a round. You can use anything, a glass, whatever is in your household that has an edge that fits the size of your bread. So we're cutting a hole for the egg. No, I'm not going to start that here. I'm going to have to do that in the pan, but we can put the butter on here. So this will be an egg and ham grilled cheese sandwich. So butter, again, on the other side. Ben would have not liked that if I came without the butter because that would not do well in that fry pan.
Oh, for the bottom, of course, yeah. Otherwise we're going to have a smoky
So I could
Monte
just
Cristo.
leave that in place. Yes. 1, 2,
So
3,
this strikes
4.
me, you know, everybody likes a slow weekend morning, you know, Saturday morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
This is a great brunch food.
It is.
Right? I mean, here we're doing eggs, ham, cheese, some of the other ones you're doing with the tomato and peppers and so forth. I mean, this is a great way to spend some time in the kitchen in the morning and end up with a really good sort of brunch type.
I think this is, if somebody makes this for you on a Sunday, you're in for a treat.
Keep them. Yeah, okay.
What do you want to eat with your grilled cheese sandwich? What do you like? I think a green little salad would do nicely.
Yeah.
With a grilled cheese.
A little bit of greens on the side for sure.
Or a bit of coleslaw. I'll do one with a little bit of mayo in the dressing. The creamy version. I think in secret we all prefer the creamy version.
Well, not so secret, I'll tell you. When I lived in England, I used to get these really cheap sandwiches from a takeout place for lunch. And they call them BAPs, right, in England, just a roll, right? And the one I would usually get was coleslaw and cheese. And it was just a shredded, fairly sharp cheese. I still don't know to this day what kind of cheese it was. But a fairly sharp white cheese, shredded, and then the coleslaw. So the whole thing looked like just coleslaw. And it's so good. And then in Montreal, coleslaw goes on hot dogs. If you get a hot dog over the counter in Montreal, a lot of places will put coleslaw on it, and it's fantastic.
Is it?
People probably think I'm really weird for suggesting that, but it, with mayonnaise and the creaminess, it actually goes really well with the sausage. Surprisingly enough, people look at me like I've got two heads when I ask here, have you got any coleslaw when I've just ordered a hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit of lettuce is almost all you need, and then whatever you may have on your board from making your grilled cheese. Let's quickly whip together a little bit of dressing for the coleslaw.
Oh, wow.
Salt.
So what are you mixing there?
Salt, very simple. Salt, pepper. I'm just going to use a little bit of lemon juice. And that's it. Mayonnaise.
That's it?
Salt, pepper, lemon juice. That's how I like my coleslaw best.
So you've got the pink salt there, though. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Yes, it is.
People are picky about salt now. You get Himalayan
Yes,
rock salt.
absolutely, I
and
know.
Now, and I will say I'm a fan of the sea salt. Now, the white sea salt that you get from the grocery store. But exactly, yeah, really great stuff.
I have to admit, and maybe my taste buds are not sophisticated enough, I have a hard time often actually tasting a difference. There is obviously a texture. If you have a coarse grain of salt that you almost bite on a nice platter with tomatoes, that's one thing I can get that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not able to distinguish between them all. And if I tell you why I'm using pink Himalayan salt for my fine salt, you're going to laugh. I have my spices in glass drawers there.
Right.
And there's icing sugar, flour, fine salt, and coarse salt. And I cook a lot with kosher salt, coarse salt.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to mix
Then
sugar and salt up.
Yep.
So things happen. My kids help me cook in the kitchen, or Ben is quite a culinary person in the meantime. These drawers don't always, or used to not always, go back in the same place.
Right.
So we end up making something that needs a lot of sugar, and we measure the salt in it, and that doesn't turn out so good. So now we know the pink.
Now you can't miss it.
That's the salt side, and the white is the sugar side.
Right. Makes sense.
And it's really pretty to
Cooking
look at
hacks.
that time. Yes.
Simple cooking hacks.
Yeah.
That's what that is, for sure. No, I can't taste the difference either, but I will say I like, especially on a steak or something that can stand up to more salt.
Yeah.
It's nice to have it because you taste it that much more when it's the sea salt, the coarser salt.
Yeah, true. All right, we'll get your sides ready, and then we're going to see how the sandwiches are doing.
Man.
I think we're all set and all done with the cooking part.
Well, Esther, even though you fed me already, my stomach's growling here.
Good.
It's fantastic.
It starts
you could
to smell good too,
yeah,
doesn't
you
it?
could start to smell it off the
Yep.
Good stuff.
Green salad. We're gonna need a bowl, or we could just put that on a plate. Just gonna make a little bit. And again, for the dressing, I like simple dressings. So here comes the salt. I had a pepper mill. Would you mind reaching to your left? That one's good.
That one's good?
Anyone's good. There's one here too. I thought.
Oh, that's a pepper mill.
You're tall, so you may use this one for your grilled cheese sandwich.
Now, that's a pepper mill.
I
can imagine that makes an impression when you bring that over to a table in a restaurant or something like that.
It's a cute one. We love it.
It's still only the second biggest one I've ever seen.
Is
there
it?
was about a 4 foot long one, and just a traditional wood one blown up to a giant size.
Wow.
And I remember a waitress bringing that over, and she literally carrying it over her shoulder.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen it in New York in a restaurant where they make it a big deal.
That's it. It's for show.
The service.
Right? Yeah, I don't think it has any practice.
But they work.
I think the practical difficulty for it is once they're that big, you got to stand 4 feet back from the table.
I know. And then you aim into this little appetizer dish, right?
That's right. You need a spotter.
Yeah. No, this is still, we can still handle it.
Yeah.
So again, salt, pepper, lemon juice, olive oil, and a little bit of orange juice. If you like that flavor.
So I quite like
it. Yep. And we'll put that on the lettuce. Mix it. And then we're almost ready to go with the eating part. How's that?
My favorite part. So this is an important little sort of serving hack as well, which is the little dishes for the side dishes. When you get something like coleslaw, now you obviously yours is not going to be runny, but a lot of places, you know, with a lot of dressing, the coleslaw dressing's pretty thin. It'll spread on the plate, and much as we love the coleslaw, it can kind of take away from the grilled cheese sandwich if the bottom of your sandwich is soaked in coleslaw dressing, right? Yeah. So put it in one of these, and then we're able to enjoy everything the way it's meant to be.
I hope you're ready to start tasting.
Are you kidding?
And enjoying.
Absolutely. I think I was born ready for this.
Okay. One quick more minute, and we'll be right back and see how it turned out. And here we are again. Welcome back. Time to eat.
All right.
How's that, Ben?
Good times.
Let's see those creations of yours. See how you
smells great
cooking.
In this kitchen,
doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh wow.
Maybe we'll just put that here. So you can keep your grilled cheese sandwiches warm for a little bit. I would say what, Ben, 150, 180 degrees Fahrenheit in the oven, and they won't go anywhere. They'll just sit and wait for you to be ready.
Fantastic.
So, what do we have? We have, let's start with the egg. How about that? The egg one, I bet everybody's curious about that. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to cut that in half. Easier said than done. How's that?
Oh, look at that. Egg cooked nicely.
Beautiful. Still soft enough. Just gorgeous. There we go. May I just reach over and give you that?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
You certainly may, as long as you understand it's going straight into my stomach.
I love that.
Oh, look at that. That yolk starting to melt. Bind it together a little.
Cheese.
Fantastic.
I think we need to have smell aroma on TV somehow.
Yes. Everyone at home can't smell this, but just this one smells like breakfast to me anyway.
It does,
because you get the fried egg and a little bit of ham, a little bit of cheese mixing together.
That's fantastic. Here's our pear and blue, I believe.
Wow. Okay, so that one only melts just sort of a little bit.
It does,
but it's nicely
it stays in shape, but
sticking
it's
together.
Yep.
Yep. Look at that.
And this guy is. It's a crunchy one. That's our brie and oven roasted vegetables. We're going to just put a little pick in it with some cranberries, because I think cranberries are a must with brie. Dried cranberries. There you go.
Look at this.
And the tomato, I have to cheat. I forgot. Oh, that's the one with the 2 cheeses.
Oh, with the feta.
The one with the feta. That we didn't want to go all melty on us. And there it is.
Oh.
Nice and crumbly.
Okay.
A nice little different texture to that. I'll hand you that too.
Okay.
And last but not least, tomato. What's missing? What did we have? Look at that.
Oh, with the mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Yeah, and this is the Jarlsberg?
It is the Jarlsberg.
Okay, that's where the pickles are going.
That is one
I'm
good
guessing.
cheese, and that's where the pickles go. Look at the color. Isn't that pretty?
It's fantastic, yeah.
So that's a long way from your traditional processed cheese white bread sandwich.
That's right,
isn't it?
Wonder Bread and singles.
Yes.
That's right.
There you go.
Well, okay, so here we go. Here's my lunch. What's everyone else having?
Oh, you're going to have to share
5
a little
sandwiches.
bit,
I don't even know where to
little bit.
start. That is incredible. And I feel like I don't want to disrupt any of these, but I'm gonna. Because
go for it.
How can you know? I'll just start from the end and
they
power
taste
it through.
like.
So this is the Jarlsberg and tomato. Look at that.
You have forks and knives here if you like for the salad.
See, the cheese pulls out. Like, doesn't that make good television? Cheese pulling out
It
like
does.
that.
That's why we do that.
So that's that white bread, and the bread is unbelievable. It makes such a difference. But the Jarlsberg's a nice, sharp sort of, not sharp, but it's a stronger cheese flavor. I mean, that's
It's very, very
It's taken
flavorful.
center stage, I think,
yes.
as you call it.
And that's
Esther.
what I want to achieve.
Now,
yeah.
this is the one I must admit that I've
The
been
egg.
really, really looking at.
Yeah. The egg looks just perfect. Ben, you did a fine job. Thank
I'll
you.
just be here eating this. For anybody who's wondering,
Very good.
I'm just gonna, I could probably just eat this whole thing, but.
Well, I hope this has inspired you to cook, to experiment, to play with bread and cheese. That's really all it is. And anything else you might find in your fridge and like, just combine the flavors, put it on your sandwich, put it in the fry pan, and enjoy it.
That is fantastic. Esther, what a magician with a simple dish. And I'll get to those side dishes too. What a delight. Thank you for having me in your kitchen today.
Oh, thank you so much for coming.
This has been fantastic.
Love it.
Yep.
We'll see you again soon.